Hello everyone, my name is Chris. I'm an Associate Product Manager here at SAP, and today I am incredibly excited to take you on a journey through calculated measures. We're going to take a look at what they are, how to create them, some examples, and even some functions to apply in formulas. So come on, let's get started. So before we get into it, I just want to show you how to get to your measures. So right now we are on the modeling homepage. You can see that by the model being selected up here. And we have all of our dimensions on the left side here. Now, to get to our measures, you want to click on this account dimension, and you'll see that it pops up with these 5 different measures that we have in this model. Now, 2 of these are longitude and latitude, and we won't be using those in this case. Those are mostly for geo-enrichment, but we do have these bottom 3 measures that we will be using, and we want to create some new measures to break down the data a little bit more and give us some more context on what information we have. So before I get started, I'll just quickly explain what a calculated measure is. And typically, these are measures that are created brand new using existing measures and arithmetic operations. So they're fairly simple to create, and they're often used to show differences or percentages based on the measures that you already have in your model. So we're going to go ahead and start creating one. You can do this by clicking on this plus button at the top of your toolbar, and it'll add this new measure for you. Now, in our case, we want to find out what is our price per unit. And we're going to do that because we want order value, and we want it to be divided by units sold. And that'll tell us exactly how much is the value of each unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do a description of price per unit. And just so you know, the member ID is primarily a key that is used in formulas and functions. The description is what you'll actually see in your story when you apply this model. So now we're going to scroll down, and you can see we get to this calculations panel. And from here, we have a few different options. We have a formula bar, we have some account types and calculation on, and we have our aggregations and exception aggregations. Now, if you want to learn more about these aggregations, there's a separate video that you can look, so just go to our channel and search it up, and we have a separate video that explains all about aggregations and exception aggregations and how to use them. It's very helpful, and I strongly recommend it. But for now, we're just going to focus on the formula bar. This is how we create calculated measures. And to make it a little easier to visualize, I'm going to go ahead and open this advanced formula tool. And you'll see it opens up this really helpful UI, which I can then use to create any type of formula, apply any functions, any conditional operators, or any arithmetic operators. In this case, we're going to be using the arithmetic operators. And so what I wanted to do is I want to do my order value, and I can just start typing it, and you'll see that it'll pop up for me. Order value, can hit enter. And now I can either use this little icon on the right to add my division, or I can just use a / on the keyboard. And now we can either type in our units sold, or to show you a nice little trick, if you hit Control and space, you'll have this really helpful UI pop up. And this will describe some of the different functions that we have available, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see all of our measures are neatly lined up here for you as well. So we're going to select units sold. The last thing I want to do is I want to click this format button just to make sure that my formula is valid, which indeed it is. So we can hit OK. And that easily, we have created a very simple calculated measure, and we can go ahead and use this in any story that we'd like that we apply this model to. So you've saved a lot of time in the future if you want to use price per unit in multiple different stories. I do have a couple more examples of some calculated measures to just help jog your memory if you ever need it in the future. Net price would be a good calculated measure. That would be your sales price minus your discount. Net income is another popular one, which is total revenues minus your total expenses. And profit margin is also something you can do, and that would be your total profit divided by your total revenues multiplied by 100. So those are just a few examples. There are many more that you can create, and I am very excited to see what you will do with all of these calculated measures. Thanks for joining us.